Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Mighty High, and in this video I am going to show you how to make a TNT duping flying machine. So you might be wondering why you would need a TNT duping flying machine, and that's basically to create a massive perimeter. So in my Let's Play world, I actually have been working on a 256 by 256 radius perimeter. So why don't we go over there and I'll show you that quickly, and then we can get on with the tutorial. Alright ladies and gentlemen, so we are here at my single player world called Mighty High's world, and this is a perimeter that I've been working on. So as you can see, we've basically got all the way down to bedrock, and I've cleared out most of the blocks around a 256 block radius, give or take a few blocks. Obviously there is still a lot of work to do around here, like all these blocks, but it's a work in progress. So the idea of a perimeter like this is basically to stop mob spawning from where you want to AFK. So if you've got a mob farm or anything like that, so in this case it's actually a witch farm because we are in a swamp. So if I don't drop that is, so let's get up here quickly. So that where that obsidian is and the nether portal is actually where a witch hut is. So the idea is to get rid of all the blocks around here within a 128 radius. So that's 128 blocks in each direction, north, south, east and west, which adds up to 256 blocks. So this is the idea of this, and obviously we want to go all the way down to bedrock, which is the reason why we want some flying machines. So I've got a load of flying machines over here which I've been using to clear out this space. You will notice that there's still odd blocks here and there, so we're just going to have to clear them out manually, but it does most of the work for you. So that's the idea of these flying machines. So I hope I've explained the reason why you might want to do something like this, although it is a grind. So let's go back into our creative world and I'll show you how to build these guys. Alright, so we are back here in my creative world now, and this is what I'm going to show you how to build. So this is the TNT flying machine, and we've also got a bit of redstone here to launch it and also to send it back, which we've got to do a tiny bit more redstone, but it's nothing that's really that hard. So the first thing I'll do is I'll show you how to build one of these flying TNT duping flying machines, and then I'll show you how to do the redstone to launch it and send it back. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find this block here, this block here. So this furnace here, because I've added some furnaces so they don't stick to the slime block, and then what we want to do is we want to go out 5 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what we want to do is add our furnace there. So this will give you the optimum spacing so that you're not you won't have a massive gap of blocks as you saw in my Let's Play world. So now it's time to actually build this thing. So let's grab a slime block and put slime block there next to that furnace, and then we grab some sticky pistons as well, and some observers. So first thing we want to do is we want to actually build the flying machine. So to build the flying machine, we've got our slime block there, then we want to add a piston facing that way and place a slime block like so, and then we go around the back and we add a piston facing that way. So these two pistons are facing the opposite way, and we've got the slime block sticking them all together. So the next thing what we want to do is we want to add some observers, but to do that it's probably a good idea to get your oak fences, oak trapdoors, as we're going to put some oak trapdoors on here. So this is going to be the block that's going to actually give these observers an update. So let's add a trapdoor there, and then we can add a trapdoor on top of this block here because we're going to have some observers on there. So let's put our observers down like so, if we can actually place them. If I can actually place them. There's one. and then an observer on here as well, and that's the second one. So this is our flying machine done. The only thing we need to do is do the redstone and add our TNT duper. So the TNT dupers are pretty easy to build, to be fair with you. So the first thing we want to actually do is get a normal piston out for now, and this piston is just going to be temporary, so we place that next to this sticky piston there. Then we have some slime blocks in this formation like so. So we've got a L shape and then 2 on the side, and then we'll have 2 slime blocks on the bottom like so. Then what we want to do is we want to add a detector rail there along with a minecart and minecart. So we add our detector rail and minecart on there. So this is basically so that this minecart doesn't go anywhere, and then it's bud powering this block. So then we grab some fan coral, or what are they called, dead tube coral fan. That's quite a long name, but yeah. So and then we place our coral there, and then we want a wall and some redstone. So let's grab a wall out there, and TNT even, not redstone. So we place our wall there, and then we place the TNT on the bottom of that wall like so. So this is almost the flying machine done. The only thing we need to do is prime it. So the way we prime it is by powering this piston here. And have I just gone off a block? No, it's just me. That's alright. So we power this piston here to prime the whole thing. So let's power this piston like so. And you'll see that this TNT block goes into where this place is. So if I just add a TNT block, not there. If I add a TNT block there, it just gets powered and it doesn't really do anything. But if we power this piston there, and make sure it's a non-sticky piston, just a normal piston by the way, then it glitches the TNT into this so that it's powered but not powered at the same time. Then we can get rid of that piston and the redstone, and we can add a normal sticky piston there. So this is the TNT flying duping machine pretty much done. The only thing we need to do now is build the return station for it. So how we build the return station for it is basically this setup here. So if we go over to this side on this slime block here, and we get some furnaces. So we want a furnace basically not there but there, right under the block right next to it, so there basically. And then we get a repeater out, and then we place a repeater there on 4 ticks like so. So then what we want to do is we want to get some blocks out, and we want to place some blocks in this formation like so. So we've got that kind of formation. So this repeater is giving a redstone output to this block, which will have some redstone on, giving this, powering this trapdoor here. But that's not all, we also need another few blocks. So we want a block there, then we want to go out 3 blocks like so. So that's 1, 2 and 3. So we're in line with this now, and then we want to go out another 3 blocks like so. So we've got this kind of shape here, and then we add a block there. So that's all the blocks you want to be placing. So now it's time for the redstone. So we place redstone dust there, there and there. Then we get 2 comparators out, and we place a comparator there and a comparator there, facing both the opposite ways. So basically we've got a comparator decay clock, which is just going to give it enough time to power this piston and this power this trapdoor and this trapdoor at the same time. But you'll see what happens later on. And then we just add some redstone there, 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 there and there. And that's all the redstone you want for this side. So now what you want to do is you want to find out where you want your flying machine to stop. So I'm just going to go out a few blocks over here, and then I'm going to add a furnace so that it stops roughly here for now. So I'm just doing this so I can get my bearings. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we can add another furnace there for the other side, and then we can get rid of these blocks if we wanted to. So this furnace will actually just stop that, but you don't have to worry about that for now. So let's get rid of these blocks, and we can also launch this and test it. So if we just flip this trapdoor like so, that should launch it. Yep, there we go. And then it will drop some TNT sometimes there, but it won't drop any TNT facing this way. It's on the return journey which it will drop some TNT. So the way we actually return this is, I think, yeah, we want to go over to this side on this slime block here. Then we basically want to have this little shape here basically over here. So the way we do that is, if you're in survival, it's probably a good idea to use this block. Be careful you don't update the TNT or this block here, but you're okay placing a block there. So we can place 2 blocks there, and then we can place a furnace like so, and then we can get rid of these blocks. Just be really careful you don't update this TNT, because you'd have to build the whole thing again, and it's quite annoying because I've done it quite a few times. So we've got our furnace there. Now what we can do is we can add a repeater on that furnace and have it on 4 ticks like so. Then we can grab some blocks out. I'm just going to use stone, and then we can add our blocks like so, and then that's basically it. And then we just add 2 bits of redstone on top of there like so, and that's basically the return station sorted. So now we've got our return station, the only thing we need to do now is add a trapdoor onto this observer here so that it will actually launch it over there. So let's do that now. If we add our trapdoor over to there, sometimes it won't actually launch this, which is a problem I have. But to stop that, what we want to do is we want to add a furnace next to that, a temporary furnace next to that, so that when this flying machine comes back, it will actually take this TNT duper, and then it will actually work. So trust me that it will work. It's just a bit fiddly sometimes, but this is the only way I've actually figured out how to do it within a reasonable amount of time. And because it's not actually the full TNT duper, it doesn't actually work with this system here. For whatever reason, it needs to be attached to the duper for this system to work, and I haven't got a clue why that is the case, but unfortunately it is. But so we're at this stage now that basically what we want to do is we want to give this observer an update so it goes over to there again, and it should be starting to work after we update another piston and get rid of that temporary furnace there. So if we give this an update, that will go flying over there, and it will stick to this TNT duper now once it does. So let's have a look at that. So now you can see that this flying machine has stuck to this now. So now what we can do is we need to give this observer an update, and then we need to get rid of this furnace or temporary block, shall I say. So if we give that an update, you can see now that the TNT duper is actually working and flying very well. And this can be as long as you like it, but just make sure that it's no longer than, say, 64 blocks, because you're going to have problems otherwise with desyncing and stuff like that. And that's basically it. So this should go backwards and forwards until you stop it manually, essentially, and that's basically what it does. So then we can build the other thing, we can do the same thing for this one. So let's stop this one quickly by simply getting rid of that, and that will just stay here. So we can do this one, and then I'll show you a little time lapse of this ground being destroyed. Alright, so I've got the other return station sorted now. So as I say, sometimes it's a bit fiddly. So if we add our trapdoor on this, this should start going flying over there, but it will only be the flying machine, and the same on this side. So I really haven't got a clue why that happens, to be fair with you, but it just does. And then it will stop there randomly, and then this will do the same. So then what we want to do at this stage is we want to update this observer here. So if we just give it a random update like so, that will start flying backwards and forwards again, and this one will too. And I've actually forgotten something, so we want to add a furnace there and a furnace there temporarily, so that for whatever reason it can actually push up against this furnace and fly off. I don't know why it doesn't do that to begin with, to be fair with you, but that's just the wonders of redstone, I guess. If you guys know, because I'm sure there's some redstone geniuses out there that knows why, then put it down in the comments, because I really am interested to see why it does that. So anyway, now we're at this point, all we need to do is give these two observers an update and get rid of this piston, get rid of the furnace again basically. So if we give that an update and that an update, that will start launching the TNT, and then basically all you need to do is find somewhere safe to AFK and watch the ground get destroyed. Ladies and gentlemen, so we are pretty much at bedrock now. So if we just jump down here, we are at bedrock completely and utterly. So this can basically be wider than this, obviously. So if you set these return stations no more than 128 blocks away from each other, because I found out that if it's any more than 128 blocks away from each other, you actually run the risk of all these flying machines desyncing. So I'll show you that now. If we just go all the way over here when they're still active. Alright, so I've gone out further now, and what you've seen is this flying machine is still being a champion and working, but this one isn't. So some of them desync and some of them don't. So I haven't got a clue why that is, but it just happens. And as you see, this one's lost its TNT and this one's still going. So just bear that in mind, that you don't want to stray too far away from these guys, because otherwise you'll get something like this that will happen. And that's a common thing with most flying machines. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video, and now you should be able to build these flying machines on your own. So I must admit, they are a bit temperamental and sometimes they can be annoying. You've also got to make sure that they are loaded so that they actually work properly, but at least it's a reasonable and safe AFK way of making a perimeter. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Mighty High. If you like this video, then please click the like button, and if you really liked it, then click the subscribe button and ding that bell for further uploads. I've been Mighty High, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.